Why is it that when I pull the seatbelt slowly it comes out, but when I yank it, slam the brakes, or crash, it locks up? How does the seatbelt know? Today we're taking apart the seatbelt's secret box to find out how it locks at the right moment. We all know this part, the belt you pull from the car and clip in place, but the question is, where does it actually come from inside the car door? There's a little box where the belt is rolled up. That part we never see. Unless you've taken apart your car's pillar, chances are you've never seen this. It's where the seatbelt gets stored and wound up, but that's not all. It also has a spring that pulls the belt back when you let go. And more importantly, it has the magic mechanism that decides exactly when the belt should lock. Before we go on, let's just clear something up before the comment section explodes. There are basically 3 types of 3-point seatbelts. The older ones, like from when I was a kid, didn't have a spring. The belt had a fixed length, you just clipped it in. You adjusted the length manually right on the strap. Most regular cars today use this type right here. Fancier cars come with something called a pretensioner, which works with the airbag. When there's a crash, it instantly tightens the belt so it stays close to your body, reducing the impact. The cover clearly says, "Do not remove," on both sides. But let's be honest, that's not why you clicked on this video, right? You want to see me crack this thing open? Let's do it. Watch this. If I pull slowly, the belt comes out just fine. But if I pull fast, it locks. It's super sensitive, sometimes even a little annoying. You have to pull it really gently or it jams up. I bet that's happened to some of you before. Something we discovered here, you can only pull the belt out when this little device is upright. If it's horizontal, it won't come out, not even slowly. Doesn't work? Let's start by opening the brown cap. That's it? Okay, step by step. The spring is inside here, okay? This brown box still feels heavy. I can tell the spring's in there because it wants to snap back when I twist it, see? I imagine it's a coiled spring, like the kind in a clock. Let's find out. One of those things where once you open it, you'll never get it back together again. Look at the spring in action. Oops. Once upon a time, there was a seatbelt spring. It looks like a party streamer. Pretty cool, everything's greased up inside. Jensen asked if it feels like a tape measure. It's softer and not as rigid. It's weird. I don't know why it curls up like this, but there's a lot of tape in here. Should we measure it? The measuring tape is 1 meter long. This was about 3 meters, maybe a bit more since we couldn't fully stretch it. So in total, that's about 4 meters of spring inside the seatbelt. If you didn't know that, I think that alone deserves a like down below, right? I already have a hunch about how this thing works, but let's open the other side to confirm. And by the way, nobody wore seatbelts when I was a kid. Seatbelts only became mandatory on federal highways in 1989. So you could drive around the city without one, no problem. And even on highways, it wasn't really enforced. It only became fully mandatory with the new traffic code in 1997. Before that, no one paid attention. That's when wearing a seatbelt in both the front and back seats became law. And it's crazy to think that traffic code is nearly 30 years old and people still don't wear seatbelts in the back. What do they think is going to happen? That the front seat will magically protect them? Nope. If there's a crash, people in the back get hurt too. You need to wear a seatbelt in the back seat. Okay, check this out. The mechanism's right here. Give me a moment to figure out how it actually works. I figured out what triggers it, but it's complicated. Everything's tiny. So I'm going to sketch it out, laser cut a model, and assemble it to show you guys. This is the trigger system that locks the seatbelt when the car brakes or accelerates suddenly. Check it out. The belt winds around this gear, and this is a steel ball, a heavy one. It sits in a kind of funnel. In the normal position, the ball just rests there so the belt can move freely. But when you brake or accelerate, the ball shifts out of place. And what happens then? It locks the belt. Once the car stabilizes, the ball resets, the mechanism releases, and you can move the belt again. Even sudden acceleration can lock the seatbelt using this mechanism. So any abrupt movement makes this little ball tilt, and that activates the lock. That lock stops the gear from turning. In real life, the metal ball is this tiny thing right here. Look how crazy sensitive this mechanism is. Just a slight tilt in any direction and this top piece rises up and catches on the white gear. In the diagram, that was the dark green gear. But here's the catch. Everything is made of plastic. It's fragile, not nearly strong enough to hold the belt during a crash with full force pulling on it. So this mechanism here actually triggers a second, stronger system under this piece I haven't opened yet. This part works great if the car brakes hard. But what about when the car's still and you just pull the belt quickly? That also locks it. How? There's a real metal lock on the belt axis, a small lever that locks the entire reel. It stops the whole thing from turning when it's lifted, and it's activated by the plastic gear. A pin sits on top of that metal lever. It's what engages the locking action. That plastic part moves the pin, which slides through from the inside. The pin pushes the lever out through this tiny hole when it locks. And on the other side, there's another metal lever that's part of the same system. It's all connected by a small hidden shaft. And since there's no casing, we can watch it working. See the little lever locking the gear? So cool. It works when the car stops or accelerates suddenly. But again, if you're parked and pull the belt fast, it locks. That's a different system. It's a second locking mechanism triggered by a quick pull, and it's this super delicate little part here. It's like a crescent moon, basically a weighted piece held by a tiny spring. When I spin it fast, the red painted tip reaches this pink part. It extends slightly and catches on these red painted teeth over here. So when you yank it fast, the tip swings out and latches onto the teeth. We filmed it in slow motion. As soon as I spin it fast, the red tip hits the pink part. That locks the white gear. And if the white gear locks, we know what happens next. The steel pin moves and locks the whole thing. I spent a lot of time researching how this works. It wasn't easy at all. Then I found this video where the guy has a locked seatbelt and shows how to unlock it. You know what he does? He takes the steel ball out. And then it feels like the seatbelt still works. It still locks when you pull it fast. But in a crash, you can't be sure. One of the locking mechanisms is gone. So remember, next time your seatbelt locks up a bit, you'll know exactly why, thanks to Manual do Mundo. And come on, if you've never seen an explanation this detailed with a custom mechanism, it's worth subscribing to the channel, right? Talking about car mechanics, we once showed how a car's speedometer works. Another clever mechanical system, it's worth watching.